What's going on, casters? Today we have a deck profile of Terror Storm, the Pin Terror deck. Alright, so starting off here, we of course have our copy of Pin Terror. This is our 3-drop, 15 attack and 8 defense, the highest base attack stat in the game so far. When this Pin Terror is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special cast any number of Hydrake and Twindra from your hand or deck in attack position. Absolutely amazing. So good. So even if they can manage to get rid of this big body on the board, you just swarm the board instead. It's so good. Then we're also going to have another 3-drop, which is going to be Stratomoth. I personally could not choose which one I liked better between the two as far as a wind strategy, so I decided to try to do my best to combine the two to make a Terror Storm deck. Stratomoth is a 3-drop, 9 attack, 5 defense. This Stratomoth gets +1 attack for each Nimbug and Kirakun. I could be saying that incorrectly, but Kirakun on your field and in your underworld. You can expend 1 wind in order to return each of your opponent's runes to their hand. And then we're going to move on to our 2-drops, which is going to be 2 copies of Twindra. Twindra is our 2-drop, 5 attack, 4 defense. When this Twindra is destroyed in battle, you can special cast a Pin Terror from your hand or deck in attack position. So long game, you want to go for the Pin Terror. Short game, you're definitely going to be going for Stratomoth. And then to round off our 2-drops, we're going to run 1 Kirakun. Kirakun is a 2-drop, 1 attack, but 6 defense. During your draw phase, you can expend 1 wind in order to special ascend this Kirakun to Stratomoth from your hand or deck. So essentially, you're going to be going into Stratomoth pretty early game so that you can worry about Pin Terror for the longer games. So you're basically going to turbo into Stratomoth while working into Pin Terror. So you're going to be doubling your opponent's worry in that sense. You're going to be attacking your opponent in more than one way, often in a way they probably don't expect very fast. And that's going to do it for our boss monsters. Next up, we're going to go into our 1-drops, and we're going to have 3 copies of the absolutely adorable Hydrake. Hydrake is a 1-drop, 4 attack, 1 defense. When this Hydrake is destroyed in battle, you can special cast a Twindra from your hand or deck in attack position. And then we're going to have 3 copies of Nimbug. 1-drop, 1 attack, 1 defense. You can expend 1 wind in order to special ascend this Nimbug to Kirakun from your hand or deck. So very fast, very fearsome once you get to the end goal. But both of these guys are absolutely amazing and definitely want to run 3 copies so that you ensure that you see copies of this card or these cards. And then we're going to go into our main attacker here, which is going to be Sorlet. Sorlet's going to be a 1-drop with 5 attack and 1 defense. You can expend 1 wind in order to change the position of an Elestral unless it's wind enchanted. So if they have a small defense or a small attack, you attack with Sorlet and expend a wind, or expend a wind and then attack with Sorlet, and boom, they're gone. And then we're going into our support creatures, starting off with 2 copies of P-Gust. P-Gust is a 1-drop, 2 attack, 3 defense. When this P-Gust receives 1 or more wind, you can target and destroy a rune. Very, very good. And then to help us with that effect, we have Exaltair. With 3 attack, 2 defense, you can Nexus up to 2 wind. When you do, an opponent must expend 2 spirit of any color. And then for the last wind creature, we run 1 copy of Carrion. You could definitely mess around with this. Maybe 3 copies of Carrion if you're not too fond of the Exaltair in here. Definitely understand that. But Carrion is going to be a 3 attack, 3 defense. When this Carrion is destroyed in battle, you can target the Elestral that destroyed it, then take control of that Elestral and move it to your Elestral row until the end phase. So he's effectively a crasher that creates a change of heart for himself. Basically, he's a crashing change of heart. And then we're going to run 1 copy of Astrabbit. You can definitely play around with that as well, but so far we're just going to test out 1 copy. Astrabbit is a 1 Thunder Spirit with 2 attack, 5 defense. When this Astrabbit receives 1 or more Thunder, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then add 1 of them to your hand and shuffle the rest back into your deck. And then we're going to run 2 Elechic with 4 attack, 1 defense. When you normal cast this Elechic, you can search your deck for a Divine Ruin and add it to your hand. And then one of my favorite spell type creatures, Boombat. 2 attack, 1 defense. You can disenchant 1 thunder from this Boombat in order to target and destroy an opponent's Elestral. And that's going to do it for the creatures. Moving on to the runes, we have 2 Aeolus. Aeolus is a 1-drop wind. When you cast this Aeolus, you can enchant up to 4 wind to it. You can disenchant 2 wind from this Aeolus in order to search your deck for an Elestral with enchantment cost 1 wind and add it to your hand. Absolutely amazing card. And then we're going to move on to our Stadium card, which we're going to run 2 Island of Aeolia. Elestrals get +1 attack and +1 defense for each wind enchanting them. And then our artifact card being Bag of Winds. The empowered Elestral gets +2 defense and cannot be targeted by an opponent's ruin. When Aeolus is enchanted and the empowered Elestral destroys an Elestral in battle, you can target and destroy a ruin. Very, very good. Now moving on to our Invoke runes, we're going to be running 2 Tornado. It's a 1-drop wind. Target an opponent's ruin and return it to their hand. And then we're also going to be running 2 Resting on Your Laurels, which is a 1-drop of any color. This Resting on Your Laurels can only be cast if an opponent has at least 2 more enchanting spirits than you. Target and destroy that opponent's Elestral with the least number of enchanting spirits. And then we're going to run 2 copies of Ambrosia. Ambrosia being a 1-drop, return up to 3 spirits of any color from your underworld to your spirit deck. Very good recyclability. And then we're going to round it off with 1 copy of Nectar of the Gods. It's a 2-drop of any color, draw 2 cards. And now moving on to our counter runes. We're going to be running 2 copies of Tsunami. Tsunami is a 1-drop water. Change all Elestrals to defense position unless they are water enchanted. It essentially just cuts off your opponent's battle phase. And then we're going to be running 2 copies of Helios's Chariot Ride. This is a 2-drop of any color. This Helios's Chariot Ride can only be cast during the draw phase. Your opponent cannot cast runes this turn. Absolutely amazing. Slowly becoming one of my favorite cards to play in decks. So you guys will probably see a lot more of this the more decks we create. Alright, and moving on to our Spirit deck. We are going to run 2 copies of Leviathan just so we can get those Tsunami off. Then we're going to be running 5 copies of Zaptor. 5 copies of Zaptor so that we can get those Searcher cards and our Boombats and things like that. And then we're going to be running 13 Wind Spirit, 13 Lycaris. Alright, and that's going to do it for our Terror Storm deck profile. Let me know what you guys thought of it down in the comments down below. If you guys liked it, hit that like button for me. And if you guys want to know more about Elestrals, go to elestrals.com so that you can find out more. Also, be sure to check out their YouTube channel so that you can be up to date on all of the updates and things like that that they come out with. And with that being said, I'm going to get the heck out of here. Got a lot of moving to do, so unfortunately the videos are going to be a little slow because I am moving at the moment. But hopefully soon we'll be back on the grind, opening more packs, having a lot of fun with this. I cannot wait, and I hope you guys keep on joining me for this journey. So thank you guys so much. I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Have a great day. Peace out.